What's up? Okay. I just wanted, before I get started, to thank everyone for all of the support on my last video because, oh my god, it's been very overwhelming, all the support. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. I've never had a video hit like 10,000 subscribers, let alone 60,000, like crazy. Anyways.
I'm sorry. What is in my hair? I'm pretty sure I have dog hair in my hair. I'm such a quality YouTuber. Oh my god.
Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it and all the kind feedback and all those haters out there. Like, thank you so much for killing my self-esteem. No, I'm just kidding. I actually was kind of freaked out at first because I didn't expect the video to blow up the way it did, and okay. I'm here today to make some content for you. Wow. I've been getting comments asking me to post, so we're gonna do that. Today's video is going to be about something that I don't discuss that much on this channel, and that is going to be school-related stuff and college-related stuff and stuff like that that maybe you guys are going through, maybe not, but yeah. So basically, I'm just going to be telling you a little about my school history, and then obviously you've seen the title of this video, you know what it's all about. So let's get started, shall we? So I am not 12, contrary to popular belief. Thank you so much, comments, really appreciate it. I am 18 years old. I was a senior in high school this past year, and yeah, basically I went to regular high school for my first 2 years of high school, and then I transferred to an online school, and then in my last year of high school something happened that was going to push back my graduation date, so it wasn't my fault. But I decided to take matters into my own hands because I really wanted to start college with my girlfriend and start college on time. So I made the decision, after talking to my parents and of course my girlfriend about it, I made the decision to go ahead and take the GED instead of being in high school longer and starting college late. So I began studying for my GED. Honestly, this was not that long ago. Which is crazy. This was probably about a month ago now, and I am all done, so that's pretty cool. The first test that I took was English, because English is my strongest subject, and I did perfectly okay. It was all good and passed it on the first try, which is always a good time. And then I took my history test, and again, passed it on the first try. Everything's good. Science, passed it on the first try. Everything's good. And math, which is my worst subject. Tell me if you can relate to that, because I am absolutely terrible at math. Thank God my girlfriend Diana is good at math. I passed my math one on the first try, and I am completely done, and I start college next week. So I thought I would make this video for people who maybe are trying to get their GED or are interested in getting your GED or whatever the case may be, because I know some people are in situations where getting a high school diploma, it's not possible. Or if you've been out of high school for a long time, maybe you dropped out like 10 years ago, and you're like, hey, I actually want to go to college and get a better job and all of that. Like, that is just so freaking amazing.
Okay, I also wanted to add that if you did not go to college or you did not graduate high school, I'm not bashing on you whatsoever. Just for me personally, it was something that I really wanted to complete and finish. But if you didn't do that stuff, girl, I'm sure you're doing just fine. So I just wanted to put that in there.
I thought I'd make this video just kind of telling you my experience and maybe some tips on what to study for. So yeah, okay, so let me start off with the English test. The English test for me was a lot of comprehension, as you may tell, and honestly, it was more difficult than I expected it to be. So if you are super strong at English and you're like, oh, I'm just not going to study for it, I recommend you study just a little, at least a little bit, because it is more complicated and more complex than I originally anticipated it to be. But it was overall, for me, because English is my best subject, not unbearable, you know, so. These tests, for me, I don't know if this is like a personal thing, but they were extremely difficult to study for because there's just such a broad spectrum of what could be on the test. It was so difficult for me to find out what to study for. Like, I don't know if that was just a me thing or what, but yeah, for me, it was pretty difficult to figure out what I'm studying and like what's going to be on the test and everything. I just wanted to put that out there. And then for history, honestly, history next to math was my hardest subject to study for, because there is literally so much stuff to study for history. Like, I mean, everything that's ever happened in the world. Like, wow, let's make a test out of it. Like, that's the worst. Just don't stress yourself out studying too much, because in the long run, like, probably most of the stuff that you didn't study is going to be the stuff on the test. And honestly, I anticipated the history test to be harder than it was. So if history is your worst subject, I would definitely study. I will link a few videos in the description that helped me. I also bought a GED book from Barnes & Noble, but honestly, the thing that helped me probably the most was videos. Just because I'm more of a visual learner and I like to see people like watch someone do stuff. But if you're more of like a studier with books or whatever, then I do recommend getting a GED book from a bookstore or wherever online. It's all how you learn. And then for science, the science one had a little bit of math in it, and I did study a lot for my science because science and math are probably my worst subjects. So I definitely studied a lot for science. For me, there were some like lab questions, and there were some questions about cells, so I definitely would study that up because I feel like I could have studied a little bit more for that particular subject. But overall, it was not awful, and so yeah, it's probably going to be so. You think it's probably going to be so much worse than it actually is. Another thing I wanted to point out was in the history test, there was a lot of literature with really complex vocabulary. So I would definitely read up on your vocabulary so that you could actually understand what you're reading. You know what I mean? Because that was definitely, I was seeing before I took the test, and it definitely held up. So yeah, and then math was just personally my worst subject. I suck at it. I literally remember being at like the math help table in kindergarten, so fun. I found it to be as difficult as I expected it to be, and if I hadn't studied for it, I definitely wouldn't have passed. So definitely brush up on your math. There's really a little bit of everything on the test: algebra, geometry, area, like perimeter, like everything pretty much is on the test. Something I struggled a lot with was some of the plot and line questions. I was like, ooh, girl, I don't remember how to do that. So there's definitely a lot of plot, and there's definitely a lot of plotting line questions, a lot of graphing questions, so just study up before you take it and you will be totally fine. But again, I'm going to link a bunch of videos that I found super helpful in the description. I just got a comment on one of my videos being like, or on the backpack video being like, is anybody else like examining their bag while she's explaining things? That's so funny. I hope it was entertaining or informative for you guys to watch. But yeah, I just wanted to like update you guys on what's going on. So yeah, I'm gonna be starting college next week. Wow. And I also just got a new job, so that's super duper exciting. I'm gonna be posting more because I have been getting a lot of comments being like, I subscribed and I'm waiting for you to post and everything. So I'm sorry for the lack of videos. Honestly, I've been so busy figuring out all of the GED stuff, on top of college and on top of job stuff. So that's pretty much where I've been, and I apologize for being gone so long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you found this helpful. And again, just like my last video with the backpack video, if you have any questions or just want to talk to me, DMs are always open. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.